Benjamin, can you come online, please?
Yeah, so one of the guys from the lab is here and he wants to explain if you can only share some of the pictures that I sent and he will
You
explain.
sent it on. I cannot send them forward because
Uh-huh.
you
Okay,
sent
then
it
I
on
have
to my.
to. I should send it to who?
Send it to Webmaster. I tell you something very
I
strange
think.
thing happens. Uh, we just received a message from Mr. Kansano. My computer shut down, does not turn on. Now you see how effective Japanese are at it.
Mine also did the same when I was presenting.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so
carry on.
I will open. I will open it for him from my desktop, and then he can explain.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so you have two now, so you can explain to them. Okay, so let me share my screen. Screen sharing, and then show all windows. Okay, pictures. Okay, yeah. Okay, please can you see?
Hello.
Can you speak a bit louder, please?
Yeah, hello. I'm Crab from the Atomic Energy Commission Lab. So we took samples from the water samples and we grow on a media. So in a petri dish. So the dark colored picture over there shows the raw water sample. And then the one with the transparent picture there shows the treated water. When you compare the two, the dark colored petri dish shows a lot of colonies, a lot of Ecoli colonies in there. And then the colonies too are bigger. They are bigger colonies. But when you also check on the treated water, the other petri dish, you could realize that the colonies are small as compared to that of the colonies of the raw water. And the one of the treated, the colonies are few as also compared to the colonies of the untreated water. So this shows that the copper oxide minimizes the microorganisms in the treated water sample solution. Okay.
What did you say again? Okay, so I'll share. Okay, I'll share again. Please, can you see? Hello.
Yes, it's coming up. Now we see.
Okay.
Yeah, hello. Hello. All right, so we have two petri dish over there. The one with the brown colonies and then the one with the transparent one. So the one with the brown niche color represent the raw water. Then the one with the transparent one represent the treated water. When you check the brownish color petri dish, you could realize that the colonies forming units are bigger. The colonies are bigger and there are plenty there. The Ecoli colonies are bigger and there are plenty in that petri dish. But when you check the transparent one, the Ecoli colonies are very small. The colonies are not, they are smallish in sizes and they are not that much in there. They have scattered, but they are not much. But the raw water, the colonies are bigger and they are clumpy. They are so much together in there. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, we hear you.
So yeah, so this shows that the treated water with the copper oxide minimizes the microbial activity in the water, and it will not give any effect when it's being ingested into the body. So this is what I found out in the laboratory.
What does this exactly mean now when we treat the water with the copper oxide?
Yeah, which means that it reduces the number of microorganisms in the water, in the raw water sample. Because looking at the brown petri dish and the transparent one, you could see clearly that the brownish colored petri dish contains much colonies of the Ecoli. And then the transparent one contains lesser colonies of the Ecoli. So when you treat with copper oxide, it minimizes the microbial activity in the water sample
Does that mean that
significantly.
does that mean that if we put the water through the second process with copper oxide, would that bring this one totally below the level? Or is it already below the level standard for international levels?
Yeah, we are yet to check for the international levels. So by Tuesday, we'll finalize everything to check whether they are below the international levels or they are within the international levels.
But according to your experience, how much better is what we see data-wise from what we see now physically?
Yeah, so according to my experience, the growth over there in the transparent one, it should be, the colony should be small, and then they should scatter. So which shows that they are within the acceptable limit. Yeah.
So in a way, by what
Hello.
is the cause of these E. coli's in the water? Is it
Hello.
because of the animal excrement and washing live animal in it?
Nice.
Mr. Kesh, it may be because what do you call it? Apart from people, maybe people eat themselves also in the bushes. So, as I shared in my first presentation, sediment that are washed from the soil end up, polluting the water, and thereby, breeding E. coli in the water bodies. So, I mean, it can be a contributive factor that the way people eat themselves in the bush, and from also the killing of or washing of animals, and washing of, even some people even stand in the river and then bath, that is something that is eyesore, but you cannot do, for me in my position, I cannot do anything about it, but we have to, keep on announcing or creating the awareness that these things are not, good for water bodies like that. So
Yeah,
that is a
but
contributing factor.
can I ask a vital question? By
Uh,
okay, we this is good. We cannot do all the rivers, but by using CO2, do we take all the good and the bad out of the water? We just have a liquid. Do you know what I mean? Are we taking everything with
well,
this process?
I think it has no.
Yes, I think we can take majority of the microorganisms. So as in the treatment, we have to check the level of the guns at which the groove can be taken. Let's say if we take 30% of the copper oxide to do the treatment, at which percentage of the groove can be removed. Let's say if 50% can remove all the microorganisms, then we use 50%. If 70% can remove all the, so we have to check the percentages at which we use the copper oxide to treat the water. So it will depend on the percentages or the percentage of the copper oxide we will use of the water.
Okay,
Hello.
so what we going to get is cleaning up, but effectively cleaning up. But to the point that the water is totally pure without any sediment. It's just the water. Am I correct?
What
Yeah.
happened was that when I took the samples to the lab, Daniel actually shook the, what do you call it, the treated water. So the sediment was mixed up with the, what do you call it, it was mixed up like before. And then I asked him why. Because I thought he will only collect the surface, some clean water to treat, but he said no. Let's do it this way. Another time we can only collect the top layer of the water and then treat it that way. So that's how come even we find a lot of what do you call it, Ecoli, even in the Ecoli trace in the treated, and then the plenty in the untreated. So that is how come. But next time, I will recommend that he just skim the surface of the water and then treat it or culture it and see how significant the upper layer will, the results that the upper layer will give, and see also. Hello?
Yes, that's fantastic. So what can we do? What and how can we? How can we wait till next Thursday meeting?
It's breaking, so
I said we
how
wait till
can
next
it's
we
breaking?
wait till next
Our
Thursday.
internet today is very poor, but we are managing.
Yes, I
Okay.
understand. What we do, we wait till next Thursday. Please
Yeah,
check your column datas with everything, because what we're gonna do, we're gonna
Thursday.
submit this for a what do you call it, as a standard for
Yeah.
the Keshe Foundation on our website, because we set up a new standard without the cuts. So as we've done up to
Okay.
now, I just received something very, very interesting. It's come from German manufacturing of the Keshe Foundation.
Okay.
It says,
Mm.
we as a German group will fully support the production of CO2 and market it as a supplement. Greeting. So we see the process and we will support this move because a lot of people need it. Please, Benjamin, do a little bit of groundwork.
Yes, sir.
Do a little bit of groundwork before you come up with the presentation next week. Check all the data that they read,
Yes, sir.
not just because they're typed. And we leave it on the website of the Keshe Foundation as the what you call testimonial from the Atomic Energy Authority of Ghana. This is a fantastic news. Let's see what else comes. We knew this from Sierra Leone, South Sierra Leone University. We're going to put you in touch with them. I'm going to put you in touch with the professors in South Sierra Leone University, with the vice chancellor there, who's a friend of the foundation, and we'll see how we can take this across whole Africa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your work. You're a, what I call a treasure to have.
I'll stop sharing my screen. So
Thank you very much. Thank you, Benjamin. Thank you, Professor. Uh, anything we've seen today, as I told you, we have gone into the cleanup. We cleaned up the religious people, that there are no more any. We use the guns of the will of God on them. Now we use the guns of CO2, and we've seen with Fukushima, we've seen now coming from Ghana. From now on, we just keep on submitting and delivering new technologies which has changed the past. This is not our job in the Keshe Foundation. It's our job as a Keshe Foundation worldwide. You're doctors, you're scientists, you are people who can make the difference. Take up the position, take up the list, and take up the whole understanding of the technology and support the Keshe Foundation and support the whole structure to change for the masses we've created. It's us who's got to move, not waiting for somebody to do it for us. We waited long enough and abused us. As I said very recently, I'm proud to be human being because I'm proud to be Iranian. I'm proud to be part of the humanity when he helps each other to the best of his ability. But it's shame when we see how financial positions dictates the condition of the life of the others. What will be interesting is, now that we have disclosed this, if you people who are there, this section of TEPCO segmented and deliver it to all the Japanese companies, Japanese Keshe Foundation, Japanese internet connection, and let it go free on the internet with it. I wonder how much more is sitting in the background with other organizations who are taking and developing our technology. As I always told you, we as a group, people who sit around the Keshe Foundation, can do so much. We have limited restriction in finances we can do, governments don't have. You have to realize something very interesting. You live in the west coast of United States, and you say you received all the radiated fish which is coming there, you won't eat. Make yourself copper oxide gas, put it in the water, stir it, let it settle. Take the water, put your fish in it, let it swim in it, let it rest in it, and you rest ashore, you take all the radiation which came from Fukushima floating to you. This is not for abusing, this is for using it the correct way. If you live in a contaminated area, radioactive contaminated area, chemically contaminated areas, now we see it's a solution. Do not consume it. Let organizations around the world come to it and that it come with it. Consume the water. We know one thing, a large dosage over 1 milligram is too much, far too much. It's a powerful structure. It's a source of energy. So you have to watch, you have to understand how much is going to be done and how much needs to be done. A lot of you are producing a lot of these materials. A lot of you are producing pens and pads and the rest. But You have to understand one thing, is how much would we like to do this? Can we change the course? Can we create a new course without fighting? I told you it's easier to work than fight, and now you've seen it. But we needed to release this knowledge today in different shape or form, because all of us are going to be affected by the radiation. All of us have been affected by radioactive material. We have no choice. We have no choice but to look for the avenues where we can support ourselves, where we can make the change, where how we decide can bring the change.
Mr. Keshe,
Yes.
this is John from Argentina. We are having a big problem here in Brazil and Argentina and Paraguay with the Aedes aegypti, with the 3 different pests, and they're contaminating the air with spray guns continually. And apparently, the products used in Brazil, built by apparently Monsanto, to blame for the problems that the newborn kids are having with they're born with small brains. You must have heard of that on the news.
Yeah.
The interesting thing would be to the people in Brazil, and now get in touch with people here, if they could start spraying with CO2 water.
Yeah.
That would be very good. And because we've got at least a couple of more months with a lot of problems with these pests.
Water it, we don't do that. You have to switch your computer off. You water them with a GANS, the water of the GANS of CO2.
Yes, exactly. You gave me hell about a couple of weeks ago when I had told you I had tried some of the water.
And?
Well, I'm fine. I had some fever, but I've stabilized and I'm perfectly well.
So use it.
Fine, yes. I'm spraying it all over the house, and I've given it to some other people that work with me, yes.
We have to learn. We have to learn. It's a new understanding. It's a new way of living, and it is the way we want it to be. Now we have a chance to do it ourselves. Now we have the chance to create that condition ourselves.
About over 16 years ago, I tried a product which is water. Was marvelous. It was super ionized water. I don't know if you have ever heard of Ayhan Doyuk, a Turkish bloke who makes this water. He's normally in Germany lately, and the properties of this water are fantastic. You could sort of try both things together.
John, it'd be great if we could get you to get a new microphone or repair your connection there. It's very harsh to listen to the voice that comes through. Sort of.
Is it too loud?
Yes, it's very loud and over amplified. Like, thank you.
We have Benjamin.
It's still a bit loud. I'll lower it a bit more.
Benjamin, Can you switch your microphone off, please? Because get a feedback. Benjamin, you're on the line. You're asking to come to back in. Come back. Is Benjamin there?
Has my microphone got better now?
Uh,
Yes.
it does seem better, yes. But we're getting no,
There's something wrong.
sorry, mute. You're gonna have to stay mute, John. It's just too much coming through
Too
there.
much.
It's not just loud, it's a terrible noise.
Yeah, it's a really terrible
Benjamin,
connection.
sorry about this. It's okay. We understand. We always had these problems even with our own unit. Benjamin, can you come online? You want to speak?
I've put my loudspeakers off now.
Okay, sir.
Come in. You wanted to. You have a professor from.
I'm online.
Yes, you have a professor from BNAR with you.
No, I don't have the professor with me now, but what they have uh, witnessed in the usage of the system I have here, the beats, the Maghreb beats. Actually, I wanted to do the spring ones for them, but you know, because of what the woman, the two scientists who came from Kenya, because of their results, they every one of them want what the women, took with them. So all of them have asked me to design the beats for them, and I have done a lot of them for most of them. I think on Friday, I had a request from the main university campus, University of Legon, the campus. 4 professors requested the what do you call it, the beats unit from me. So they were on me. I have to sit on during the weekend and then do it for the 4 of them. So on Monday early in the morning, they were at my door. Have you finished? I handed it over to them. So they are testing it. And the doctor who was here the other day, Dr. Godwin Amenope, I've also been using it in his house. And what he's saying is that the meter, when it read, normally when you buy the unit it beeps. When it's taking your unit, consuming the unit, it beeps. But since he plugged the unit on, it has stopped beeping, and the unit is not going at all. It's not, uh, dropping like it used to be. And according to Dr. Danso, the head of the binary, that is the Biological Nuclear Research Institute, he was the first one who requested for it, because of the testimony of the women. And I sent the guy who delivered the product to him, and then I asked him to find out how significant he has benefited. And he told the guy that, look, I used to buy about 500 units, 500 Ghana units every 3 weeks, but now it doesn't. I'm not buying that much at all. I have bought once and it is still there. So there is a significant what do you call it, reduction. And I told him, just wait for 3 months and then you will come to me. And a brother of mine also, I did it for him, and then he took it to his house. He said the normally when the unit reaches 3 units, it stops. You have to buy a new unit to load it up. What happened? He told me that this thing has even not stopped, and it went up to 0 0 for 3 days before the system shut down. So he was asking me what happened. I said I don't know. I don't know. You just go and find out. Find out. And what actually happened? What happened also was when he was going to load the unit. Normally, you can sit in your house and then they load the unit, transfer the unit to your system. He did. He went there 3 times. The people told him they cannot load the unit onto his system. He should go back and check his meter. And I said, "What did you tell them? I hope you didn't tell them you are using the system." He said, "No." For after the 3rd time, he said he decided not to go again. So until the system went off, and then they were able to load it. And so there are many testimonies coming in here and there. What I've planned to do is to line up these people, and they are here, so you can easily get access to them. If they cannot come personally, I can record them and then share their testimonies with the people, what they have found by the usage of the, what do you call it, Magrav unit, the Magrav beats.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions, or shall we call it a day? We received enough information today as it is. We started 9 o'clock, it's nearly 1:30. We're going for nearly 4.5 hours.
Yes, there's a lot there to think about, Mr. Keshe.
There's a lot to be done, and now we just open the Pandora box.
Okay, so is there any wrap up that we can do here? Any last quick questions, perhaps, or shall we, as Mr. Keshe says, call it a day? Going once, going twice. I think we'll call it a
lot
day,
of
Mr.
questions
Keshe.
sitting here, I can see.
Can you hear me?
I hear a voice in
Somebody's
the
talking in the
background.
background, yeah.
Voice.
Can I present some GANs making findings?
Who's that?
Barrington.
Yes.
If I can share screen.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can you see that now?
Yeah.
So these are jars of GANs I made, and this is recorded a week after I sealed them, still this active.
What is it produce? Oh, these are your guns.
Yes, yes. And then how I do it is with the coils instead of the plates hooked up to a cell phone charger.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally will make a tub of them within about an hour.
We do that in the factory.
Yeah.
The process we understand fully. We do that in the factory.
So it's a pretty easy way if you want people replicating the CO2 everywhere very fast.
Yeah, but this is not a CO2. CO2 is not produced this way. CO2 has to be produced in the normal condition. You're producing the copper oxide or a zinc oxide.
Well, and many others depending on the material used.
On the materials you use, yes. That's perfect. Thank you very much. Any other question, or shall we call it a day?
Let's call it a day there, Mr. Keshe.
Okay. Thank you for being here today. We learned a lot. We shared a lot, and we wrote a lot of things off. What we wrote off is the division in the religion. What we wrote off is how we can clean up the structure of the rivers, the waters we drink, radiation contamination, and most of all, we have seen how collectively working together openly, even though it gets used by the others for their benefit, it brings benefit in totality for all of us. Please cut these teachings in sections and let the appropriate people have the sections to understand what it is. We are not afraid of sharing. We are afraid of not sharing. That's the biggest problem. Up to now, people were afraid to share that something might happen to them. We're afraid not to share that our knowledge might not be used to save a life. So, in so many ways, we are back to where humanity should have been from the beginning. We are the new generation of not what I call givers. We give unconditionally without bothering about what we give, which allows the others to go faster, to live a better life, and to be able to live a more comfortable life from what we give. My knowledge is free. Is your life, has got to accept it. Thank you very much for today. We learned a lot, and maybe we learn something more when it comes to tomorrow's. Maybe we can go further if we ask ourselves one question. Have I given enough today? Thank you very much for today. See you on Tuesday afternoon teaching. Have a wonderful Easter holidays. Those of you who believe in the path of Christ, bless his name. Thank you indeed.
I'm sure we'll have some questions for you for the Tuesday workshop.
Always there, no problem. Thank you very much, Rick. Have a nice holiday.
Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye for now. And that'll be the end of the 106th.
Rick?
Hello?
Can you just mention about the joint Q&A session this afternoon, please? That will be happening for the 1st and 3-year students in an hour.
Can you mention about that?
I guess I should. I guess
you put your foot right in there. No, go ahead.
I don't want to mention the Zoom number because it is a private Zoom for the 1st and 3-year class. But it will be under the Q&A Zoom meeting number, and it'll be starting in an hour.
In 1 hour.
I'll be hosting.
Okay.
So that's 9:30 Central. No, this is Eastern Daylight Time, so people can adjust.
Yeah, 6:30 a.m. Pacific time. I'm not sure what this.
That everybody, at least on our end of the world, has to be aware of is that CET time goes forward again on Sunday. So next week's workshops will be an hour earlier for the Eastern or for the Western world here.
Well, we go back to 6-hour difference opposed to the 5-hour difference.
Exactly.
Yes, it's a confusing time of year, twice a year, with that change. Thanks for the reminder.
Why don't you use the GMT timetables? There are countries who don't change our timetable.
Yeah, then when we get off planet, we have to convert to something else again. Okay, so I think we should wrap it up for now. Is there any other announcements that we should put in there? I believe there's also a teachers meeting, correct, today? We want to put that in as a reminder.
Yeah, the teacher meeting is after the Q&A.
Okay. Okay, let's wrap.